Hey everyone, Katrina here. Today we're going to discuss the domain and range of polynomials. Okay, so in my previous video I gave an introduction on polynomials, basically told you how to determine what they are and identify key pieces of information. So just to recap, our polynomial takes the form f of x equals to ax the n minus 1 plus bx n minus 2 all the way to some cx plus k. So a few things to note here. Our n, which is our exponent, has to be greater or equal to 0, and n has to be a whole number. So we can't have any rational or fractional values of n. A few things to note with polynomials here is that we write them in decreasing order, which is really important. So we write them from the largest power of x all the way to the smallest power of x. I realized over here we made just a little mistake. We have to start with n, and then we do n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on. Sorry about that. So we write them in decreasing order, and we also note that the degree of the polynomial equals the largest power of x. So that means pretty much whatever your largest n value is, that's going to be the largest value of x. And then we also have to consider our leading coefficient. And our leading coefficient here is going to equal to a. So essentially that is the coefficient that is multiplied to the largest power of x. So coefficient with largest power of x. Okay, so those are kind of the main things that we need to know for polynomials. But now we have to discuss, well, what is the domain and range of polynomials? This is one of the reasons why people love polynomials so much, is because of their amazing properties related to their domain and range. So if we start off with domain, what can we say there? Well, this is incredible. The domain for any polynomial is x can be an element of the real numbers. That means that there is no restriction. So the nice thing about this is that this applies to any single polynomial. As soon as you've identified that it's a polynomial, you right away know that there's no restriction on the domain, that x can take on any single real number. So that's an incredible property, because so many other functions in mathematics have all these different restrictions on their domain that you always have to be aware of, especially when you have rational functions and one-sided functions. So domain in this case is really great. So now let's take a look at the range. So the range, unfortunately, is not as straightforward as the domain, but I'm going to show you a really neat trick how you can figure it out any single time. So like we mentioned, like we mentioned earlier, I showed you how you can determine the degree of a polynomial. So we find the degree, if you recall, by looking at the largest power of x. So that would be your n, right? So your degree can either be an odd number, or your degree can be an even number, right? Because your degree, we said that it's n has to be greater or equal to 0, and n is an element of the whole numbers. So that means that we could take on values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 100, all the way basically to infinity. So that means that these numbers will always be classified as even or odd. So that means we're either going to have an even degree polynomial or an odd degree polynomial. So if our polynomial is odd degree, that means that we're going to have no restrictions on our domain. meaning that, no restrictions on our range, meaning that our range can be written as y is the element of the real numbers. However, if it's even, then we're going to have a restriction on our range. We'll have y as an element of the real numbers such that y is either going to be greater than or equal to or less than or equal to a specific value. We'll just call it m, for example. And this is a case for even functions due to their inherent property and their symmetry of being even. So if we just take like a bit of an example, we'll get more into this in other videos, but if we look at a very typical even function, let's say we have, I'll just draw this a little bit lower, we've got our nice parabola y equals to x squared. So we know that this is an even function because its degree, its largest degree, is an even number. So we can see here that our domain is unrestricted, that we can take any value of x as we approach both positive infinity and negative infinity. But what about our y value? We see that we can take any value as y approaches positive infinity. We will go from all those values, but we can see that our function does not exist past this certain point, past our x-intercept. And in this case, we can see that since it's pointing upwards, we have a positive leading coefficient, and that means that we can take any value greater or equal to its lowest point. So the lowest point of this function is the minimum, and it is achieved at 0.00. So that means in this case, we have the range is y is an element of the real numbers such that y can only be greater than or equal to 0, because our function does not exist when it's below 0. What if we had the opposite? What if we had something that looked like this, where we had a reflection over the x-axis? So now our function is y equals to negative x squared. So it's still an even polynomial because we can look at the degree, but now we have a negative leading coefficient, which is causing our function to open downwards. We still see that our domain is unchanged. We can take all values, but now our range, our function only exists when it is less than or equal to its minimum point of 0, 0. So that means now that our range is y is an element of the real numbers such that y is less than or equal to 0. So if we want to do a little bit of a summary on this, let's kind of look at some properties that carry over. So our function will have a range that's greater or equal to some constant when the leading coefficient is positive. So we'll say when the leading coefficient is positive. We will have a range that's less than or equal to some point when our leading coefficient is negative, because that means that our function is opening downwards instead of upwards. And to find, well, what is this minimum point? I'm afraid we'll have to use a little bit more calculus to determine that. I do have other videos on curve sketching and finding local and global extrema, maxima, and minima. And those videos using some calculus techniques will help you determine what is that minimum point. You can also solve this graphically. If you were to create a table of values, you can write everything out and find what your minimum point is. And also for more common functions like this one, y equals to x squared, you should know usually what the base function is there and know that its minimum point or maximum, depending on which way it's opening, is 0. So that's why it's just a little bit more involved, especially when you get to the even functions, but at least here you understand the main structure. But if your polynomial is odd degree, then you're having a great day. You know right away that your range is going to be YER, which is nice. If you have any other questions about the domain or range or about polynomials, please drop them in the comments below and I will definitely get back to you soon. And definitely subscribe to more videos because I have much more coming your way. And yeah, let's do math together. I look forward to seeing you next time.